Man, what a horrible day of tennis we just witnessed here in Dallas. I don't even know where to begin. So, this is the first time this year, and I suppose it is not late in the year, but still the first time this year, where I have predicted who will be in the final of an ATP tournament incorrectly. So, let's start with the first semifinal that was played in Dallas today, which was, of course, Casper Ruud against Munar. Prior to this match, I had predicted Munar to win in 3 sets, and he should have done that, but he choked. He served for the match at 5-4. He played a quite brilliant game at 4-all to break the serve of Casper Ruud and allow himself to serve for the match at 5-4. And then what does he do? He throws it away and reminds everyone why he's still at bum status, where he will likely remain for the rest of his career. He plays brilliantly for the whole second set and basically the whole third set up until that point. And then, for no reason, well, I shouldn't say for no reason, because there is pressure when serving out a match against a top player. But yeah, apparently there is pressure because despite playing so well for those past basically the entirety of those past 2 sets, he got tight in the most crucial moment. And he mixed in a bit of going back to pushing, almost it looked like, rather than keeping with the aggressive style that he was maintaining throughout the match, and just making careless unforced errors on shots that he should not be missing. He made like 3 unforced errors. Just handed the game away and allowed Ruud to break back for 5-all and then hold for 6-5. Then Munar is serving again at 5-6, and what does he do? He plays a brilliant service game, of course, which he could not have done earlier because of the pressure serving out the match. But when he's serving to stay in the match, he can play a brilliant service game and hold to 15 or whatever it was, and then we get into a tiebreak. And he starts off, good point to start, 1-love. And then he has a smash at the 1-love point. He smashes it back to Casper Ruud, who is able to hit a lob over his head. This guy runs back and he tries to hit an overhead at Casper Ruud, who has, of course, followed this lob into the net, as you're supposed to do. And what does he do? Misses the smash passing shot attempt into the net. Gets down to 2-love. And now we've basically screwed up the entire thing. Well, we already screwed it up when you failed to serve out the match at 5-4 with careless unforced errors, which you weren't making before, at least not as many, and not at that crucial, at a time when you needed to be clutch, when you were clutch before, when you had gone to deuce on your other service games and you could serve it out then. But no, you couldn't serve out the match because apparently you're a choker. Or, I mean, that's what it looks like from this match. So then the tiebreak goes along, which has been spoiled already, and Ruud gets in the lead. 6-3. 3 match points to send it in to the Dallas final. And when you have 3 match points in a row, you usually don't lose, but hey, this is a tiebreak, anything can happen. You know, if Munar plays 2 good service points and then Ruud screws up on his third match point, he's back in the breaker, you know? So I didn't give up hope just yet. At 6-3, Munar saves the first match point. And I'm like, okay, good. And he's fist bumping to himself. He's like, vamos, vamos. I'm like, look, he really wants this. This guy looks determined. Okay, maybe he can bring this back. Gets it to 6-4. Hits a serve. Fault. At this point, I'm like, do not double fault. He doesn't double fault. Good. He gets a regulation forehand. Dumps it in the net. That's it. Done and dusted. Casper Ruud is in the final of Dallas. Completely undeserved. No, just kidding. It's not undeserved. He did earn his victory. But he should have lost. Munar was serving for the match, was 2 points away. All he needed was 2 good serves, and the match would have been his. But he choked. So Casper Ruud is in the final. But fine, whatever. I mean, that I was not too upset with when it happened, because I predicted Munar to win in 3 sets, indicating that this match could have gone either way. Munar in 3 sets. Okay, and he certainly could have won. So that was not a bad prediction by any means. He was 2 points away from winning it in 3 sets, just like I said. So I'm like, okay, you can't be perfect. And then we get into the second semifinal, which is, of course, the 3rd seed and defending champion Tommy Paul against Denis Shapovalov. I predicted Tommy Paul to win this match in 3 sets. He loses it in straights. Well, I can't really say much about this, except that I don't really like to be wrong, of course, but I seem to have made an error in my calculations somehow. Paul couldn't even take this to a 3rd set. So my prediction was completely off. Not just like in my first prediction, which was only barely wrong. This one was completely the opposite of what I predicted. It was not Paul in 3 sets. Not only was it not Paul, it was not in 3 sets. So I got none of this prediction right. And the final is the exact opposite of what I predicted. So that's fine, I guess. I suppose I've just done a minor miscalculation. In the first one, I will not change my prediction style for, because if Munar had just played 2 good points on his serve, then my prediction would have been exactly correct. The second one, I seem to have made a miscalculation, and I should have realized that perhaps Tommy Paul was not returning that well, and maybe that cost him in this match against Shapo Reborn. So I think I understand it now, and I will try to adjust my prediction style a bit. Maybe remember this and learn from this. And so the final is Casper Ruud against Denis Shapovalov, and I guess Shapovalov will win the final in straight sets now, since he's playing so well. And he somehow doesn't seem to be missing that many shots, even though he's just smacking everything like he always does. Now it's deciding to go in. So, good for him, honestly. The head-to-head is 2-love for Casper Ruud, but both of those meetings were on clay, which is obviously Ruud's best surface and maybe Shapovalov's worst surface, even though he's not really bad on clay. He almost beat Nadal. Or actually, he did beat Nadal on clay, actually. Yeah, I believe he did beat Nadal on clay. And then the year before that, he almost beat him, but he choked. So Shapovalov is not bad on clay, but Ruud is better on clay, even though Ruud cannot beat Nadal. But that's probably because he idolizes him, as Kyrgios says, probably why he got destroyed. So I won't take much from the fact that Casper Ruud has a 2-love head-to-head against Shapo, since both of those meetings were on clay, and to top it off, he did not play Shapo Reborn, this new form of Shapo, who seems to just be better than the previous one in pretty much every way. Maybe the only major difference is that his shots actually go in more consistently now, and that's honestly probably the most important thing in terms of tennis in general improving, and a thing that would need to change is your shots just going in. I mean, if your shots go in, if you don't miss, you don't lose. So that's a very theoretically you wouldn't need to change anything else if all your shots just keep going in. I mean, assuming you have power in your shots already, because as we all know, Alex de Minaur, all his shots go in, but he doesn't have any power. So his shots can't go in when his opponents hit him off the court. But Sinner, the major improvement from 2023 to 2024, when he became a beast and started destroying everyone, his shots started to go in more. There wasn't that much else that changed about his game. I mean, there were probably some things, but that might have been the major thing. It was kind of like Djokovic from 2010 to 2011, and I believe Rafael Nadal was asked in an interview, because he kept losing to him, lost all 6 matches he played against Djokovic that year, all in finals, of course, and he was asked, what do you notice to change about him? And he's like, not much change, but he's more consistent. His shots start to go in more. So, I mean, in a way, that sometimes that can really be all you need when you have other stuff already. And you just lack consistency. Just your shots need to go in, and then it just clicks. But anyway, in addition to that, and those 2 meetings on clay where Casper Ruud defeated Shapovalov, those were actually close matches. All the sets went to Casper Ruud, but they were all close sets. The first meeting, in the final in Geneva, in 2021, Casper Ruud won 7-6, 6-4. Then in the quarterfinal of Rome in 2022, he won 7-6, 7-5. So it's not like Shapovalov has been getting steamrolled by Ruud, even on clay, which is Ruud's best surface, and maybe not Shapovalov's best surface. Shapovalov has actually played him very tightly, and played him close. So do I believe that Shapovalov can defeat Ruud on these hard courts? Yes, absolutely. And he has been playing extremely well for this entire tournament. He took out Fritz, the top seed. He took out Tommy Paul just now, who is the 3rd seed. Now he will go into the final against Casper Ruud, who is the 2nd seed. Do I believe that he will defeat him and defeat the top 3 seeds in this Mickey Mouse tournament? Yes, I do. And probably because of that very fact that it's Mickey Mouse. I mean, if he had to go against Yannick Sinner or something, obviously he would get cooked. But this is just a 500, so absolutely he can defeat the top 3 seeds. I would not really be surprised at all to see that happening, and in fact I expect to see it happening tomorrow. But at this point, given that this tournament doesn't seem to be corresponding to my predictions, I won't be surprised if Casper Ruud wins. And I'm wrong again. But my official prediction, and let's hope I'm right this time, so I can at least have something right this tournament, is that Denis Shapovalov will defeat Casper Ruud in straight sets in the final in Dallas tomorrow.